Hello and welcome to Battlefield Recon, the web's hottest Battlefield show. On today's show, the 3,266 metre world record sniper shot. Battlefield 4's PC specs revealed. But what do they mean? In our analysis section, we look at weapons customization, and can you really put 240,000 different modding options on one weapon? All this and more in today's Battle Recon, the web's hottest Battlefield show. Hello, welcome to this week's Battle Recon. I'm your host Dan Dawkins and I'm joined by Battlefield expert Andy Hartup.
Hello.
Okay, before we start, I've got a confession to make, and that was that I was a little bit enthusiastic at times last week and said no slightly more times than a box set of Darth Vader in the prequel trilogy. So I apologise, I'm playing it a different tack this week. I am unimpressible and I'm daring Andy to show me clips that will register even a flicker of human emotion.
I accept that challenge.
Now, also please note, these are all clips from the Battlefield community and all the various creative souls within. Please support them by clicking through to the full link and taking a full look at their channel. Okay, we'll go with the first most likely rubbish and unimpressive clip, Andy, which is what?
Okay, this is a man shooting another man in the head from 3.2 kilometres away.
What's
I mean,
that
that is impressive.
I mean...
Here he goes, look. Look how far he is away. He's practically in a different country.
Well,
Nice headshot.
Yeah, look, it's lucky and we didn't see the previous 700 attempts. I think that's just a pure fluke. Okay, clip number 2 now. The first one was clearly rubbish. This one is called the 1,000 mine domino explosion. Seriously, what's impressive about this?
I think you've just answered your own question. You've just seen 1,000 mines going off, blowing a tank, well, several miles across the map. And if you watch here, look, the tank is still going. It's still going across the map now.
Alright, one quibble with this. One, who is mad enough to lay down 1,000 mines? Two, if you were in the tank, surely at some time in the preceding 16 hours you'd have got out and lifted out a line of tanks, hence not to get blown up.
Yeah, maybe.
Clip number 3, and I grudgingly accept they've marginally improved. This is a guided missile hitting a parachuter from distance.
I guess this one's more unlucky than impressive. I mean, if you're that guy there who's just been hit by a guided missile, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And again, what a cheap shot, picking on a completely paralysed parachuter. Cheap. Clip number 4, the digger flip.
Even you're going to like this one. Look at that. He's used C4 to flip a digger onto a roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of skill to do that, and probably an awful lot of luck as well.
It does put me in an awful bind. I would say he could have flipped it straighter, and if it had been professional gymnastics, probably a 5 out of 10.
Harsh.
Our last clip is proof that John Lennon was right and instant karma will get you. In fact, ironic karma in this case. It's a dirt bike steal turned weird and karmic.
Yeah, I love this one. It's not necessarily the most impressive clip we've got, but it's just the timing of it is brilliant. So he shot that dude off this dirt bike. He's going to steal it. And there we go. A little bit of revenge from his buddy. Kills him with a dirt bike.
Not bad. In our news section this week, we're looking at the recently revealed PC system specs for Battlefield 4. Trust us, this is actually pretty sexy, because there's some big ramifications from this. Shall we run through what are the minimum specifications for the PC version? And I really will, scattergun through
rattle
this.
through them, yeah.
Minimum OS is a Windows Vista SP2 32-bit.
Yep.
Processor AMD Athlon x2 2.8 GHz or an Intel Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz. Hopefully you can see all this on screen to save me having to whiffle on. Memory 4 gig, graphics card AMD Radeon HD 3870, graphics memory 512, hard drive 30 gig. Now that is I think a fairly standard specification for anyone who's bought a PC in, let's say, the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, most PC owners are going to be able to at least meet that. But I think a lot of people are going to be aiming for the recommended. And the recommended specs also tie in quite neatly with the next-gen console specs as well, don't they?
I mean, I'll put it through, the OS. This was interesting. The fact they're recommending Windows 8, that might cause some contention. But in terms of the processor, it's saying it's an AMD 6-core CPU or an Intel quad-core CPU, 8 gig of memory, graphics card, an AMD Radeon HD 7870, 3 gigs of graphic memory, or 30 gig hard drive, so that's the same. The thing is interesting, Andy, which we're going to say, is how do these specs compare with the next-gen consoles?
Well, they're really pretty close. I mean, both next-gen consoles have got 8 gig of memory, So, that's on a par. And the AMD Radeon is very, very similar to the chip that's in the PS4.
Yeah, PS4 uses a custom AMD chipset, but again, according to the TechSite Digital Foundry, the closest comparison is the AMD Radeon HD 7870, which is easy for me to say. But and it will run about the same. I think it's still worth noting that for a true beastly Battlefield player, if you want ultimate performance, you're still looking to the top end PC.
Yeah.
When what we know of the next gen versions, this has been confirmed now, is that it runs at a 720p resolution, upscaled to 1080p, delivering 60 frames a second. But
yeah, that's important. I mean, Battlefield on console has previously run at 30, and it's been sort of quite a big difference between the PC and the console ones. So it's nice that the console players are finally going to get to play at 60 frames per second. And I think the next gen consoles are also allowing DICE to have 64-player multiplayer battles. I know some
impressive.
people are asking about that. Yeah, DICE have confirmed 64 players for next-gen consoles.
Oh, well, that's a player for every bit of the Windows 8 OS.
It certainly is.
I don't think that's exactly how they're tying it. Okay, well, that's our news roundup this week. We're going to move straight into our analysis of the big topic. And our big topic this week is weapon customization.
Yeah,
so I guess...
sexy.
It is sexy.
Sexy weapon customization.
Sexy weapons. Now, can you top line explain, how has weapon customization changed?
I think, the biggest change is that there's more of it. I mean, DICE have come out and said that there's 3 times the number of accessories for weapons in Battlefield 4, which that's a huge amount. I mean, there was a lot you could do to guns in Battlefield 3. Having 3 times more, there's a number of different ways that it all kind of breaks down. And as you alluded to at the start of the show, DICE have claimed that there's 240,000 combination options per gun.
Yeah, that's slightly terrifying for a man
It's
like
mad,
myself.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I think one of the ways that they're getting to that is in a not particularly sexy way, and that's through camo for weapons. There are different camo types, so there's autumn, desert, naval, snow, urban, and woodland.
Yeah.
Sound like paints. And each of these have 16 different variants. So this is a Chinese assault rifle. It's a QBZ-95-1. And the guy doing this is adding all sorts of modifications to it. So here he's going for a more long range. So he's got a more short range. He's got a laser sight. He's got a suppressor to keep things quiet. And he's got a new foregrip, which gives him greater accuracy when he's moving. And of course, he's gone for the sexy urban camo, because obviously if you're doing close quarters, you're going to be in more urban environments. Yeah. Now here's the same weapon spec'd out for more long range. So he's going for a 4x scope. Obviously if you want a longer range, you go for a sniper rifle, which is a different class. You've got a heavier barrel to make it more accurate, and he's gone for a different under barrel grip at the start. And he's spec'd it out in what looks like, it's autumn. So he's expecting to be in sort of more grassy areas, more areas full of trees, things like that.
It doesn't sound like you're like a sniper guy necessarily, but there is quite a lot of change in the world of sniping. So can you run us through some of that?
Yeah, sure. DICE have said that there's going to be a 40 times zoom for the Recon class, so you can snipe from a long way away. But one thing that's going to really, really please the hardcore is that you can now zero use scope in Battlefield 4 and in any Battlefield game. Your bullets will drop if you fire them over distance and will be affected by environmental factors like the wind. So what zeroing your scope allows you to do is you can sit there looking through your scope and you can calculate how far away your target is,
right,
and then adjust your scope to accommodate for whatever bullet drop and environmental factors are going on. So essentially, instead of having to aim up and right from where your target is to hit them in the head, when you zero your scope, you're automatically adjusting for that sort of change in your shot, and you can simply just aim at his head.
Wow.
Your rifle sort of automatically
it relies
fires
on
it.
an innate understanding of distance and those various things to select the right zeroing.
It's definitely not something you're going to be doing if you're new to Battlefield.
Yeah, without a doubt. It sounds like sort of being able to pick the dream golf club just from looking down the course and going, Yeah, 500 yards, 7 wood, whop, straight in.
It's for sniper versions of Tiger Woods only.
So sniping's changing quite a bit. Now, it sounds like the new Battlefield pickups are going to make a bit of a difference to play as well.
I think they are, yeah. One thing that I'm quite excited about is that when you see a pickup on a map, and they've talked about the 50 cal sniper on the Paracel Storm map, people are going to be fighting over those Battlefield pickups. People are going to want them, and they're going to be in really good strategic parts of the map. So you're going to get little mini conflicts going on wherever the pickups are, which is great because there's going to be a bit of action. If you're wandering around, you're going to find it there. The other thing is it's going to allow you to use weapons outside of your preferred class. So if you've been leveling up an engineer, engineers use SMGs mainly and quite short range weapons, you could go to that 50 cal and have a go at sniping and properly take people down with a sniper and earn some badges, some sniper badges using that, providing you can get anywhere near it.
Oh, it sounds good. I mean, again, you can also customise your secondary weapons this time around.
Yeah, I think that's more flash than anything really, but it's a nice little touch. You can put laser sights on your pistol and things like that, which was something that was lacking from Battlefield 3. It's not a huge deal, but it's a nice to have.
Well, that wraps up this week's Battle Recon. Thank you for all the feedback last week, some very generous comments, and some people correctly noting that I said no too often, so thanks for that. So, yeah, we'll be back next week with even more news, screens, and views from the world of Battlefield. Please send us all of your clips. I'd love to see more clips for the front moments. See if you can impress me, if you can eke out some human emotion from me with your amazing Battle Recon clips. So, yeah, send them to @BattleRecon, feature them all soon, and until next week, it's cheerio from us. Bye.